get a new headset?
Yeah, I did.
Gotta
It
play
was
that then.
$25 on Amazon. And it's got lights
Wow.
on the
Is
side,
it
so it's
comfy? How is it?
it's actually they're really nice. It's got like really big like over the ear
Mhm.
cans and a microphone because we're gonna start doing like raiding and or
Mhm.
dungeons and WoW, so I needed a mic again because I
Although
can't
I've heard that a
actually
lot of
play and see
see, I've
over my
heard a lot
Yeti.
of people use the Yeti. They just probably sit farther away from it.
Maybe, but it's in the way of my keyboard, so
I know,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Mine has to sit behind the keyboard when I'm not recording.
mine is too. If I spent the money to get a nice, which probably once I get a new desk
I
I will, to
really
get a
want
nice
a
like
boom.
overhead.
Boom would be so awesome.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Plus, you
But
like look badass, right? And
right.
you like swing it in. You're like, sup?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm a professional here. Look at my swing arm. Yeah, but they're like to get good ones that'll hold up your Yeti. It's like $100 or something. Wow,
Yeah.
I have to turn on. Hang on, I am like going gain crazy. I have to turn this down a bit.
I
All
keep
right.
using my mouse, but I unplugged
Being
it from my mic.
crazy.
I was hitting. I was. Oh, I'm clipping really bad. I'm talking too loudly into my microphone.
You're also talking like an audio engineer, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what
I found the
gain
thing.
clipping
Oh,
was.
I found a thing on Audacity to make a red mark when I start clipping, which is when you go too loud and it affects the sound quality. And now it does a big red mark on my screen, and it's very angry at me.
Oh, that's pretty cool, though. I want that.
Yeah, I don't know where I found that, but that
I
was
definitely
somewhere.
yell into my microphone way too much.
Yeah, actually, you're a yeller. I have to turn you down when I edit.
I just like always just sit way back here.
I know. Hello. Okay. Yeah, I don't care if I'm clipping. I don't care. I turned it all the way down, and I don't care. Hold on.
I need to go
Sure.
shopping for some actual giant can ear headphones before I'm on a plane for 5.5 hours and people try to talk to me.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because I was thinking the earbuds are not going to cut it. It's not going to be good enough. I'm going to need giant
Yeah.
headphones, maybe with blinders.
I really want a pair of those new Bose ones that are like $350.
That would be almost as much as my plane tickets.
I realize that those are impractical for people who don't fly a lot.
Frequently, yeah. No, I don't fly ever at all in any way.
But
Yes,
yeah.
these will be comfortable for long periods when I'm on an airplane.
Is that because you hate people or because you?
It's because I have a completely irrational terror of, I don't know, death. Is kind of a big deal to me, and
I mean, I don't want to die either, but
yeah, that,
but the airplanes
the,
don't set it off.
A fear of death is not entirely irrational.
yeah, the flaming death rocket. I have trouble with that, which is
That's
why I spent extra money, like twice as much, literally, on a nonstop flight to Seattle rather than have to take off and land more than once.
Well, that's also the only way to travel. It's way better.
What?
It's not nonstop.
No.
If you can manage nonstop, I hate stopping.
I had one choice, so. But at least there was one choice, which is way better than when I was in Memphis, and you could not get nonstop to anywhere. I didn't even think you could get nonstop to Nashville. You'd have to get routed up to Chicago and then back down to Nashville.
Well, you could get nonstop to Chicago then.
Well, it's no, you couldn't, because if you bought a ticket to Chicago, it would probably route you somewhere else. The Memphis airport is really interesting in that it's the busiest airport in the world, but for boxes, not for people. They do not give a shit about people, and in fact do not want people fucking up their cargo airport. So they do.
Like UPS lived through there?
FedEx. FedEx headquarters is in Memphis. So everything FedEx goes through Memphis.
No, Atlanta is busy for people and boxes because UPS is down there.
Yeah, it's so Memphis goes out of their way to make sure people are not interested in flying there. Ever.
We just paid to upgrade our tickets to exit rows when we go to Hong Kong because it's like 14 hours on a plane, and I'm gonna go crazy. But I may as well go crazy with legroom.
Yeah, we did bulkhead when we went to England with the we won.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
You guys are saying words that mean nothing to me.
The first row in the section where you get the like wall in front of you, but nobody can lean back into you. It's pretty. It's nice. It's harder to stretch your legs all the way out if you have long legs, and you can't put your bag like under your feet. But like whatever.
I mean, I'm going to take a lot of drugs and be asleep for most of the flight, but that's
I'm thinking about liquor, like a lot of liquor is what's going to happen. A whole lot of liquor.
Yes, that's a wise move.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're into what? Huh?
you guys want to record a podcast?
I thought we were.
Yeah, I thought we were too. I was waiting for you to do your thing. You weren't doing your thing, so we were chatting.
Everyone was talking. I don't want to
I pressed
interrupt
record
anybody.
like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
We've been recording forever. You were talking about your clipping and your gaining. And
Oh God, the clipping and gaining. All right, okay, podcast. I'm clipping so much. I don't care, Audacity. I just don't care anymore.
Hey, when does the Olympics end?
now.
Now, it's over. I think the closing ceremony started a couple hours ago.
How long?
Apparently, the Prime Minister of Japan came on stage dressed as Super Mario to announce the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo.
Okay, that's sweet.
That's weird.
How long until I can't watch the Olympics on the internet anymore?
I'm pretty sure that's been infinity forever. You can't watch the Olympics on the internet.
No, I've been watching them on the internet.
Yeah, I watched.
All right, go. Just start, Leora.
Here we go.
We're about to go another 20 minutes.
I know, at a little 20-minute. My gain is all screwed up. I'm just gonna say it. Hello everyone.
There was a shimmy that time. That was a good shimmy.
Welcome to Cat Context Podcast, episode 102 for the week of August 21st, 2016. I had to look that up really quick. My name is Leor. Today we're going to talk about the hype and expectation cycle in games, particularly in relation to the release of No Man's Sky. I also hear that Era's been playing a little Overwatch, and she kind of loves it. And I've been playing Legion still, because I can't help it. I just can't help it. But with me today, as usual, are my two co-hosts, Eralade and Alindriel. Ellie, how has your weekend been?
Pretty good. I got to finally see the Star Trek movie.
I just saw today it's done like 60% less business than the last Star Trek movie or something like that. Was it bad?
Sucks, because the last Star Trek movie I have yet to make it through without rage quitting, and I really liked this one.
Then you like Beyond?
I liked Beyond a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if I thought it was better or not than the second one or than Into Darkness, but
Into Darkness is fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible from beginning to end.
Oh, shoot. Okay, no, sorry, keep going. I have been recording with my webcam microphone this whole time.
That's why your gain is off.
That's why my gain is off.
Oh, Christ.
I've done that before.
I like that
yeah.
There were a lot of little things that I liked about the movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was super interesting. I said this after I saw it, and I still firmly believe this, that there is no one working right now who's as good with an ensemble as Justin Lin. Which, I mean, Leor can back me up on this because she's seen all the recent Fast and the Furious movies. Seriously, he's so good with an ensemble, with giving everyone a moment, with a giant cast of people and being able to make the audience care about all of them, which is a real gift.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can compare it to any of the giant superhero team movies, and they all suffer by comparison. They're not nearly as good with giving you the people you care, making you care about all of these people doing all of these things, both together and separately. And I think Justin Lin is really good at that.
Yeah, that was definitely something that Talon and I came away being happy with, is how this movie, like, Into Darkness was very much Kirk and his one bro, Spock, with, like, some other people showing up occasionally to help out. But this was very much about the whole crew, and that was really cool. I mean, maybe not like, there were even sort of crewman number 5 sort of people, but
well, yeah, it's
just the bridge crew. Almost everybody got some good time. I think Uhura kind of suffered in this movie, but I don't know.
Because she had. Yes, hello. Has it been long enough that I can talk about spoilers?
I mean, it's not going to be in the theaters more than like another week, so
I
spoiler alert, we're going to talk about Star Trek
I'm
Beyond.
sorry. I'm going to be that person. Can we maybe not do spoilers?
No,
Okay,
we hate
we
you.
won't have to do spoilers. I don't want to. Even when I was a little kid, when I was a little girl, Uhura was one of my heroes, and I wanted to go into linguistics to be like Uhura. And yeah, Lior is nodding. Exactly. I wanted to, I wanted to work for the UN and translate and learn about languages and people and how they related because of Uhura. And the fact that they pulled that into this movie and like she saves the day because she's a linguistics genius makes me so happy in my shriveled black heart. It grew 3 sizes and exploded from my broken shriveled chest. And that was really wonderful. And thanks, Justin Lin. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'd seen any previews. I saw the very first preview that we all saw and thought was ridiculous, with the like motorcycle jump explosion in the background thing. And then it like threw up by the director of the Fast and the Furious or whichever one he did, and we're like, oh my god, what is going on here? I guess I had probably seen another trailer after that, but I went in kind of with relatively low expectations because of the Fast and the Furious Justin Lin connection. Without
Oh, now see, that was
yeah,
devastating.
well, without necessarily. I mean, I haven't seen those, right? So like
Yeah, see, that's your mistake.
yeah,
You're missing out.
no, it's actually good because it made me enjoy this movie, right? Like if I go in with high expectations and the movie is the exact rehash that they said that it wasn't going to be the previous Star Trek movies, I was disappointed. But this one, I was very much surprised, and I had a really good time. And I really like the new alien, whatever her name was. I don't remember her name.
She's a dancer, super famous dancer. I can
Yeah,
never remember her name.
she was also in Kingsman. She was like the
I rage quit
bad.
that movie too. So
That's reasonable, but she was the bad guy sidekick in that. So she was
not
super
Gogo
cool.
Yubari.
What's that?
Not Gogo Yubari. She was obviously she was not Gogo Yubari. Never mind. Just never mind.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
that's fine.
Lior had some recognition there. That's the actress. I didn't really recognize her, although
The lady with the knife feet or whatever in the
yes,
Kingsman? Oh, okay,
yes.
she was cool in that movie.
Yeah, and she's super cool in this, and I really wanted the movie to just be about her.
I hope she gets to continue. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like one of the reasons why I rage quit Into Darkness is because my other childhood hero was Amanda, and I accepted killing her off in the first movie to create this new universe. Fine, you're creating a new universe. That's fine. I'm really pissed about it, but fine. And then they go and they remake The Wrath of Khan. That's not a new story. That's not a new universe. Fuck you. Why did you kill Amanda for this? Still angry. But then they go and make this movie, which is completely different, and I was very happy.
Yeah. So that sounds like Leo just wants to see it at some point. So
I do want to see it. I did enjoy the last movies, and this one was written by Simon Pegg. So Simon Pegg's cool.
and he hits all the good Star Trek notes. So.
And we all say that, but the movie has been a disappointment, and it has put the whole franchise into jeopardy. So, we don't know anything about movies, I guess, or our tastes are not reflective of the broader interests.
Yeah, well, they're trying to really play the, I don't know, action movie thing with these Star Treks, and it's weird and awkward. And
because Star Trek is not an action movie thing.
I know, but it's being made now. So
is there a Reaper in Vancouver? What was that?
Yeah, that was a weird noise, Ellie.
Really? There was like some like motorcycle or thing.
All right, kind of
slowly.
sounded like a Reaper was landing on your house, but
I mean, it could be. I don't know.
we're
I hope
glad
not.
it's not. Arrow, how was your weekend?
My weekend.
That was all from the intro question.
Yeah.
That was all the intro question. Go us. My weekend's been full of glitter, as will every weekend for the next 7 weeks. I kind of had a little freak out earlier this weekend when I realized that I have to get all of my nail polish in a FedEx box in 4 weeks. Holy shit! Yeah, that's super exciting. And by exciting, I mean I want to die.
Oh, that kind of exciting.
Yeah, you get to do just the fun stuff. You get to hand out pretties with, I've got fancy bags with stickers with the logo on them and all that shit. Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
know,
cool.
it's going to be great. I just
How
show
much
up
it-
and
How much are you bringing?
How much am I bringing? Well, right now I'm bringing 200 big bottles, 200 little bottles. That's all I've got made. I've got my inventory plan I need like 120 more. I haven't made any of my Fallout stuff. I'm concentrating on the Overwatch stuff because it's gotten the best reception so far.
Yeah.
My personal preference is, of course, the dragon aging, because I think those colors are spectacular. But the people really like the over-the-top glitter and the Overwatch stuff.
Sure. Well, I mean, I
Yes.
guess if you're gonna buy some like nerdy branded jewelry, you might as well go, or cosmetics, you might as well go for it, right?
Right. Well, I mean, I started out with the more subtle nerdy stuff because I thought that was funny. Look at me walking into a board meeting wearing nerdy nail polish, tee hee hee. But now I've just completely gone off the deep end into I'm the cool mom in Hot Topic.
yeah, that's how I described your diva nail
Yeah.
polish. Was mom's going to Hot Topic again.
It is.
And it's amazing. I am definitely on
It is
board.
really spectacular.
Glitter.
I think, honestly, Tracer and Mercy are the ones that are the most crazy over the top.
What about that glow in the dark one you did? That was pretty sweet.
The glow-in-the-dark one was special. I'm not going to be listing that one online, but I will be taking the bottles left over to GGC, so those will be special limited edition only for con-goers.
Oh. Yes, if you're in the Seattle area or you are going to Geek Girl Con in October, come to our booth.
Or if you know somebody who's going, tell them to go.
Yeah, because that Ori polish was really awesome. I cannot wait to hear what Josiah thinks of it when it gets to her in a million years.
I like really wanted to make a snarky comment about you being able to finish the nail polish for Ori.
I actually-
but
I
I
was-
decided not to troll your business's Instagram.
I actually said to some other friends that I had a custom request for some Ori nail polish, and I was trying to figure out if I could put something in it that would make your hands feel the way mine do when I'm playing the game when you're wearing the nail polish. But alas, no, I think that's illegal.
I think that probably is not a selling point. Probably not. Awesome. Yeah, it's been a pretty mellow weekend here. Lots of playing leash. It's been really, really hot, like for here, which is over 90 degrees. But like 91, 92, 93.
Okay, no,
that-
90 degrees is
90
hot.
is hot.
that
90
is hot. It is
like-
legitimately hot. So
It's
we
like
did
when
that.
when we complain about it being like 82 or 83 after a week of like all low 70s, and then everybody else is like, you're an asshole, and I'm like, yeah, but an air-conditioned asshole.
Right, exactly. But it's been a streak of like
yeah.
above 90 this week, so it's been
Yeah,
really
that
hot. So
sucks.
of course we decided to go out and like go to the farmers market yesterday and get really hot and and get our vaccinations for travel. So now hepatitis A, I'm impervious to that. So
Well,
take that, Thai food carts. Yeah, that was
I
my-
guess that is from food, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the food one. Yeah, food and
Yeah,
water.
that's important. That's important. You have a Big Daddy in the background, don't you?
Yes.
You are.
I
It's,
do.
every week there's something like new and interesting just over your right shoulder.
I didn't even see the print, so I was afraid we were going somewhere very...
It's not that kind of podcast.
I didn't need to know what Poncho was doing in the background.
Oh,
Sweet Jesus.
okay. No. Anyway, he was referring to the BioShock art print, not to my husband, who I also call Big Dad. No, I don't. Anyway, we have things to talk about that are not related to that. No Man's Sky came out while we missed the previous episode, by the way, because it was the Olympics. And come on, what do you want from us?
and also some of us were sick.
Yeah, that's true. I was not feeling. I was under the weather, but also Olympics. Come on.
We could have tried that thing that we did before with the recording while watching video,
Yeah,
but
that worked out really well. We
we
just spent our whole time like cheering at the computer. Yeah, so we took a little break, but during the time we took a little break, No Man's Sky came out, and we've like been joking for years about No Man's Sky at E3 again. Blah blah blah. When are they going to come out? Is there even a game there? And it did come out, and it's been awkward and interesting. Now, am I correct that none of us own No Man's Sky?
That is correct.
You
do?
You do?
Yeah.
See, I don't know the difference between No Man's Sky and Star Citizen because everyone always talks about them in the same sentence.
So No
Man's
Sky
No Man's Sky Citizen is what Star Citizen is the one that was kickstarted and will never actually exist. Is that right?
Star Citizen is the one that is supposed to be kind of like EVE Space Combat, and you pay them thousands of dollars for a ship in a game that will never come out.
Yeah, and it's like the most money-making Kickstarter of all time.
No Man's Sky was billed as, and this leads into the topic here. So No Man's Sky was billed as infinite universe, infinite exploration.
So like Trade Wars.
No, there wasn't really. They never. They literally. I'm not too young. I just never played it. They literally never described the gameplay of No Man's Sky, if I recall correctly. I mean, like up until like earlier this year, people didn't know what the hell kind of game it was, and
okay, so this is also a vaporware game.
Do you remember the one? There were some really, really cool tech demos on PS4 where they were like on a planet, and then they like held down a zoom out button, and they zoomed out to the planet, to the galaxy, or to the solar system, the galaxy, to the universe. Then they zoomed somewhere else and zoomed all the way in on that one, and all theoretically with no loading. Do you remember those?
It was supposed to be a huge procedurally generated galaxy, series of galaxies.
It still is that. At some point, they started like.
It still is that, sort of.
Well, at some point, they started layering in gameplay, and then there was some discussion about collecting resources and doing some stuff, and just sort of having it be a bit like a survival game, kind of, which is where it has kind of ended up, I think. I've only gotten to play it for about 4 to 6 hours, and it's real buggy still, and crashed my PS4 multiple times, which is not.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not great.
How is that even? I mean, don't you have to go through like this huge rigmarole with Sony to get a game on the PS4 in the first place?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure No Man's Sky was a launch. Was like a launch. Like they talked about it during the launch of the PS4. Potentially, it was like I mean, it's been It's been at least 5 years that it's been coming out next year.
Yeah, it's been a long, long time. It's one of those perennial E3 trailers.
So the group that did it has done some other games. They're called Hello Games, right? And I can't remember what else they've done, but they've done a bunch of other stuff that's like popular and successful. But yeah, there was a lot of hype around this game, and it's been like the #1 most desired game coming out of E3 for several E3s in a row.
Right.
And we all know what happens when a game has a lot of hype and a lot of people are excited about it, then it comes out and it perhaps does not meet their expectation. And we know what happens is gamers, take it in stride and really understand the development process and sit back and wait. No, that's not what happened. The usual nonsense happens. The thing with No Man's Sky, what I find interesting is that I tend to, as noticed by my snarky comments, I tend to almost always side with developers in issues like this, where I'm like, okay, well, players need to settle down. And I think in this case, while yes, players do need to settle down, there can also be a really point to make that the game does not live up to what Hello Games themselves sort of indicated that the game would be, and they were not really good at communicating the changes to the game over time.
Yeah, we can be blunt. They dramatically oversold this game. And they sold their vision for it and like the board meeting pitch of this game to the public, and constantly and certainly well past the time when they must have known that it was not going to be that, right? That's it's been buggy for me. I've enjoyed it so far. It is
It's
collecty.
been terribly buggy and has been crashing my console, which
Well,
shouldn't be physically possible, but it's great!
the second time it didn't crash the console, it just seemed like it crashed the console, and then eventually sent a bug report. So then I played Dragon Age, but yeah,
Better
I mean
choice.
the game itself is pretty. It is really pretty. It's interesting to wander around and meet aliens that you can't communicate with, and sort of learn their words piece by piece as you find objects and talk to them and stuff. Um, there's almost no tutorial. You're just kind of dropped on this planet and figure it out kind of thing. And but it's not complicated, and you don't really die, right? Like I think my spacesuit ran out of oxygen once, and I did die because I was halfway across the planet from my ship. Um, but like it just I don't know. I like the game as it is, and I think part of that is because I was like, No Man's Sky has promised me a lot, and then I stopped looking at what it told me it was promising me anymore, probably 2 years ago, and I was like, that seems fun. And then before I bought it, I read a couple reviews, and people were like, well, it's not what they said it was going to be, but it's still pretty cool, and so I bought it, and yeah, it's pretty fun, but it's not the game they sold us.
Yeah, and that's definitely a fine line to walk. They need to, and no one likes delivering bad news of, hey, this game that we said was going to be, your all-encompassing space simulator has turned out just to be like a really cool, I don't know, planet visiting thing. And it looks gorgeous. The screenshots look gorgeous.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
I'm sure it runs really nicely on a nice high-end PC too.
Have you started, people have kind of said that it's really cool for the first couple hours, but then they get kind of tired and the planets are not that different. Have you run into that, or?
No, because I don't think I've played it long enough.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, I've also, because I picked it up Friday night, so I only had a few hours yesterday and this morning to play with it. So, yeah, and there's they kind of build it as endless, right? But then there's kind of a story, but not really. Or there's somehow you get some objectives, and then the objectives sort of basically drive you to space explore to the center of the galaxy, and then something happens. I don't really know, and it's 10 to 15 hours if you do it that way. So that's fine.
Wow, endless or 10 to 15 hours. That's that's a big deal, I think.
It is, except for the fact that much like Dragon Age, 10 to 15 hours is the sort of linear follow the clues and what the thing is telling you to do, or you can just go fly around, and every planet has different species and different, I mean, presumably the Dragon Age 2 issue exists where there's only so many ways to put the same tiles together, and that's why people say it feels same. But yeah, I mean, you can just go catalog stuff endlessly like you did in Mass Effect 1, and we all got really bored doing.
Mm-hmm. Do you get to name planets? Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You get to name everything, so you can change the name of, I think, all of the creatures you can change the names of that you see.
But
the
it's
planets.
multiplayer?
It's not multiplayer. This is actually one of the biggest sticking points is that they always said everybody's in the same universe. It's infinite universe. You will probably never see another person, but if you do, it's going to be awesome. Or you might run into the part of the galaxy that somebody else passed through 2 days ago and named everything, right? And it's all single player instance. I have my own world on my machine and you have yours, and
that seems like a big change. That seems like a big feature that they should maybe have told people.
Yeah, kind of. I'm not sure functionally it matters, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure functionally it matters either, but that seems like a really big deal.
Yeah. Well,
this is a
multiplayer
game. Oh, surprise! It's not actually multiplayer.
Yeah.
That seems like a big deal to me.
Right.
And I could see getting annoyed with oh, by the way, this is multiplayer. Here you are playing and installing it. No, sorry, it's just single player. That seems like kind of a like I understand where the developers are coming from. Things get removed, things get changed, scope creep, timing, all that shit. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But billing something as multiplayer and then not having multiplayer,
Yeah, I mean the
that's a
multiplayer
big
was.
deal.
Yeah, I mean the way I the for I care less about that one I think because the multiplayer was always you might have one or two multiplayer experiences in your 100 hours of playing this game, and
Right.
although I guess if like you did, then you could like hang out with that person potentially and follow them around and get
Yeah,
Right.
I think
sweet
there have been
emblems and
cases of
stuff.
people
Yeah.
coordinating on their Twitch channels to like land on the same planet, and then they discover that it's not
Yeah.
multiplayer,
Yeah.
which has
Sure.
been a little awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's lessons to take from all sides of this about communicating changes to your game. One of the issues that they're having right now is they're not being terribly reactive after the launch of communicating when and if some of the stuff will go in that they said would go in, and whether there's a plan for that. And on the other hand, I mean, we've talked about don't pre-order and try not to buy into the hype, but Lace, like you said, you have done really good hype management for this game. You've
For
heard
this
about it, you kind
for
of
this
followed it a
one.
little bit, but you didn't get,
Yeah.
and I think there's something to be said for that as from the consumer perspective of, hey, let's control our hype.
I mean, there is, but I don't want to put this on consumers when there's big money. I mean, I know they're indie, they're 15 or 16 person studio, right? But there's somebody out there, and his job is to run around and get people hyped up on this game. So, yeah, it can't put it on the people who are being marketed at for listening to the promises and tales that people are marketing at them with, right?
Right.
Yes, we should be skeptical, yes, etc. But if they tell you, a couple months out, like the part of the reason to be skeptical is like the bugs and stuff in this game, like you can't tell that before the game comes out, right? And so that's
Yeah.
part of the pre-order thing. Whether the game is the game that they have been showing off and discussing, that like I feel like if the core gameplay might not be fun, but if the core gameplay is just different from what they've been advertising, that's a little bit bait and switchy, which sucks.
Yeah, I'm with Ellie on this one.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. I think I tend to come down pretty hard on consumers, and this might be a definite case of poor.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need to rage all over the internet about like,
Yeah, and I mean, there's
we're
never
going
a-
to throw them all under the bridge. Like these people are the worst, the worst.
There's
elements
never
of
a place
society.
for death threats to developers
Yeah.
or anyone.
Right.
There's never a place for death threats for anyone for any reason.
Right, but
But,
there's
yeah.
room to be unhappy with what has
Yes.
actually come out in
It
relation
is
to this.
totally valid to get pissed off that the marketing for this game is completely different. You see this in movies sometimes too, where they cut the trailer such that it's
Oh my
not
God,
the
yeah.
movie. Like the most egregious example I can think of is a couple of years back they made a movie about the movie version of The Bridge to Terabithia. And you were not a teenage girl, Ellie, so you maybe never read Bridge to Terabithia, but I see Lior making the face. Yeah, did you ever see any of the trailers for the
Yes.
Bridge to Terabithia movie? And it was like, the tagline was rollicking fun time fantasy adventure and shit. No, that is not what Bridge to Terabithia is about.
No, it's
in
one of those
any
horrible
way.
tragic children's
Yeah,
books. That
I know it. Yeah.
And it wasn't even that they changed the movie. The movie
Yeah,
was
they just-
pretty
they just cut
faithful
it.
to the book.
Yeah.
They just cut that trailer like it was Hogwarts. And oh no, yeah, maybe it's Hogwarts with tuberculosis.
Hogwarts with tuberculosis is a good tagline. I'd watch that.
that's probably
that's
how they
my new
sold it
band
to
name.
the studio. The worst one for me was Three Kings. Three Kings was like they took like the four sort of buddy comedy like joke lines from the
And
entire.
no, it's actually an incredibly good form of.
Yeah. And I went in. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a sweet,
Also.
like a sweet. Then I was like, oh my god, what did I just do to myself?
Dear Jesus God, my feelings. I don't. Yeah. I also
That was-
saw that movie in the theater.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that's actually I recall
Like, I
that.
think it was a good movie too. Like, I think other people who like kind of knew what to expect were
Yeah,
like,
people
"That
who
movie
knew
was
it
good."
was
I was like,
people who
"That
knew it
wasn't."
was a tragic war film were like, "That's the best tragic war film I've ever seen." Like,
You're
I
going in
knew it
expecting kind of a
was
buddy
funny.
comedy, and
Yeah, and I was like,
yeah.
George Clooney and Matt Damon were supposed to tell jokes.
Yeah, no. Instead, they get pieces blown off. It's not what I was expecting. Not what I signed up for.
Yeah, so that I felt really bad about that. I didn't feel as bad about No Man's Sky because I didn't follow it. I'm also my life has changed so that I don't follow almost any of this kind of news nearly as closely as I did 5 years ago or 3 years ago.
Welcome to parenthood.
Yeah. So that actually insulates me a little bit. And I can totally see being more frustrated back in the days when I was pre-ordering things and was following, you know. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, sure, absolutely. I think
yeah.
that's legitimate. You guys have probably convinced me to be a little less harsh on the consumer side.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not. It's yeah. I mean, you don't have
But
to.
I mean, and then you see like the incredibly nitpicky, like carefully researched Reddit posts, and I'm just like, ugh, that would be so demoralizing as like a developer to see that. I would just be,
Yeah,
it would be
I mean,
crazy.
I don't want to ever be held to the things that my CEO actually talks about in public about what my company does.
Yeah,
So
no, that
I
no.
completely understand where these people are coming from because he, their livelihood is to get people excited and get them to buy in, right? So good on this guy. Good on these guys for doing a good job of that.
They did a good job of getting everyone all excited. No, it's true, and I think the point was made in the Kotaku article about this that we were all looking at earlier by Jason Schreier, that the kind of thing that you pitch to like investors, or as you said earlier, the
Yeah.
boardroom, it shouldn't necessarily translate directly to what you pitch to your potential consumers. And you want to get your investors all excited, and here's what we're going to do, and here's our big plans. But then you start putting that out there, and people start taking you at your exact word.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of the Kickstarter problem too, right? Like, I don't think No Man's Sky wasn't a Kickstarter.
I don't
I
think
don't think
so.
so.
No.
But you
Um,
did see this with Broken Age, where it
right.
took forever to make the game because all of a sudden they had this giant budget and they hadn't planned the development hours that would go with, like a AAA budget game.
Yeah, they also did stupid stuff like they used stretch goals in Kickstarters in a way that they were sort of the poster child for learning why to not add features as part of your stretch goals because it's
Right.
like scope creep is real anyway. So
Yep.
why not let the community tell us how to scope creep even more? That's that you know.
Oh yeah. And people, I mean, if you're not in development, and it's really easy to kind of go, well, just sit your team down. It should take like a week. Just sit it down, spend a week, add this feature. I don't see what the problem is. And
Yeah.
and it's very easy to kind of think that, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into coding that
I
makes
have
it more than a week.
I have some friends that do contract work, primarily development work, and the only estimates they give to people is 1 week, 1 quarter, or forever. Because realistically, like if it is trivial, it will take at least a week. And if it has any complexity at all, by the time that you get it integrated into everything else, you're 3 months down the road, and other people have gotten their hands on it. Arrow's nodding too. She knows.
I refuse to give estimates. I
Yeah.
won't do it. My estimate is always 4 weeks. For a straight up, I'm just a front end developer. I mean, I don't even do heavy duty back end coding. I just do light back end coding, and like just for cross browser CSS jQuery compatible front end bullshit, 4 weeks. Period. The end. If you want, responsive design, if you want, anything else, then it goes to 8 weeks. More than that, it's 12 weeks. That's it. And then, that's Scotty taught me that one. Thanks again,
Right.
Star Trek.
And the 12-week thing is like part of the reason they say, forever or a year in this context is because by the time you've scoped out a project that takes three months, there's
Especially in my company, there's no
Yeah.
owner anymore.
Right.
Nobody's got anything
Somebody's
behind it.
quit, like somebody else is coming. Somebody's seen it and they've been like, oh, well, can you just change this, this, and this? And you're like, sure, but that's another 6 or 12 weeks, right? And like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's just,
great. It's got to completely restructure the entire database. That's fine. No problem.
so yeah. I mean, I don't want to come down hard on the actual people doing development here, right? Because I get it. What the it's the marketing and sales organizations, and their job's hard too. Like, it's
Oh
not.
yeah, sure. No, I mean,
Yeah,
I think no
Leor.
one's like a villain here. It's just a bunch of, sort of slightly mismanaged on a number of different perspectives. But I mean, that's the age-old story in any sort of software or software as a service or coding, which is the struggle between marketing and the engineers. And I think that outside of video games, that applies just as well. Marketing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just the stress is the part where I think that this particular case is really bad is that there isn't communication, and even outside of the upfront pre-release communication, because I can even see like how that last month, 2 months, whatever, is just like heads down, don't talk to your family or anybody, right?
You're sleeping in the office.
Right. And but now it's been, I don't know, a couple weeks or a week and a half, and they have like literally not said anything. And radio silence after this, like, that just feels bad.
Yeah.
They don't have to come. It could even be like, look, yeah, we didn't get everything, or our vision changed by the end because we realized that these things weren't actually adding to the experience, so we wanted to build something that we could deliver, right? Whatever. And whether they're going to add things back or not, it doesn't matter. But letting people know where you stand, like, seems like just like smart play, because now there are way more people that will just stay away because they don't know what they're buying, right? Because of the bad press.
Yeah, and the number one sort of principle of calming down upset customers is to acknowledge how they feel and be like, hey, I know this was disappointing. We're sorry we didn't get this in, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's really all they have to say, and I think that would go a long way to rebuilding some trust.
Yeah, and don't give me more promises about what's going to be in or when it's going to be in, unless it's like, I don't need that, right? Like, in these situations,
Yeah, I agree.
Just tell me you understand. That's cool. Like, let's just be friends again.
We just want to be friends. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So it'll be interesting to see how this happens. It's too bad. I've been sort of looking forward to this game, and I think it's not necessarily, judging by what is actually released, what I was hoping for, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, if you like the like collecting resources and combination aspects of Minecraft, it doesn't have the freeform building that Minecraft does, but some of the crafting stuff, it's nowhere near as deep, so don't hold me to that, right? But just generally speaking, like that kind of thing in a sci-fi setting, so far it has been that when it has not been crashing.
When it works,
my
which is
understanding is
rare.
my understanding is that is the one place where they actually have been responsive, is trying to knock. They've released at least 2 patches since the game came out, mostly focused around bug fixes and crashes. And I'm playing on PS4. I don't know what the experience is on PC.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I have heard that too, that they have been, pushing out patches and stuff. So it's not like they disappeared forever. It's just with these larger scale issues,
right.
As far as
If and when the game works, I will happily spend my 10 or 15 hours on it and feel like I got my money's worth. So
nice. You'll have to update us on the center of the universe.
Yeah.
Arrow, you've been playing Overwatch lately, and you've been really liking it, and it's kind of freaking me out.
It's actually honestly freaking me out. To be frank, I got into Overwatch from a purely capitalist perspective, the same deal with Fallout 4. But the character designs are so evocative, I couldn't stay away. And so there's exactly enough story in it that it brings out like the Warcraft 2 nostalgia in me. It's exactly, I had forgotten how good Blizzard is with doling out little bits of story before they get all too up in their own ass and fuck it up. Cough, cough, Legion, cough, cough.
How is the story delivered in Overwatch? confused because it's like a first-person shooter, right?
Right? So I was like, how can anyone play this? There's no story in this. Well, there's character background on the website, right? That for just little bitty rundowns on the kind of person you're playing as. And then, like, I think Team Fortress did this too. They're releasing little animated shorts. And I don't know if they got, like, a Pixar director or what, but Jesus Christ, 7 minutes of feelings. And it's insane. I highly recommend The Last Bastion, which is the one that they just released about a robot. Oh my god, there's no dialogue, and I cried like a baby for 7.5 minutes for no reason. And like I've seen these same feelings on the internet where you watch The Last Bastion and you cry like a baby and it's uncontrollable sobbing, and then you play the game and the opposing team has a bastion and fuck you. And that's pretty much what happens. But they do a really clever thing where there's 30 seconds at the start of every match, sometimes 45, depending on what match you're on, where you're getting the team together, setting up your defenses, going your point way, whatever. And during that time, the characters will talk to each other, especially characters who had been involved before. And like there's the Edgelord Reaper, who literally is a flesh-eating zombie, right? Undead. Fucked up is what that is. Actually, the character is completely fucked up. And on the write-up on the website, it's like name unknown, age unknown, he wears a mask, he looks like, a 14-year-old boy, thinks he's the coolest thing ever and have tattoos of him, and usually 14-year-old boys play him. And then if someone on your team is playing him, and someone on your team is playing Ana, who is Sniper Grandma, one of the original founders of Overwatch 30 years ago, they have a dialogue where she goes, Gabriel, what happened to you? And meanwhile, everyone else is like, what the fuck? And it's really cool the way the story is dribbled out in these little drips and drabs. And, like, Mercy, the literal angel, is actually, like, 40 years old, and she looks like she's 20, and they comment on that? Like, dude, is that good genes? Or May, the adorable cryogenically frozen Chinese optimist, this poor woman was got cryogenically frozen in Antarctica, and like in Fallout, everyone else's pods were destroyed, and she's the only one left alive, and she comes back 30 years in the future. She's like, my Angela, you look exactly the same. You haven't changed a day. And Mercy is, tee-hee, no, I'm not at all an evil genius. Why would you say that? And it's really clever. I had completely forgotten that sometimes Blizzard is really good at this.
How's the community like when you're playing? Because I was kind of worried that by this point in, people have gotten good enough that it's a bad time to start playing.
Well, here's the thing. I have been playing the shit out of it for the last, 3 weeks. Can't stop playing this game. And it's interesting. Usually I can't play first-person shooters. I get terrible motion sickness and vertigo. Like, I can't do even 20 minutes of Bioshock. I am on the floor. Just can't do it. I guess the FOV and coloring is set exactly right in this game, and it doesn't make me sick. I do have to stop every couple of matches to rest my eyes, but otherwise it's totally fine. It's like magic. I don't know what sorcery they've done. But, so I've been playing the shit out of it for 3 weeks, and I just got the first, you're improper, you're all so terrible, such noobs, right before podcast. That was the first time I'd ever seen anyone. Usually, the opposing team is congratulating you on a good match. It's really, I'm not in competitive play. Not high enough level for that yet. So I don't know if the community changes there at all.
Have you typed like GGEZ at anybody? Because I hear that.
I have not typed GGEZ at anyone. I have typed GZ with a smiley face, or GG with a smiley face, and meant it. Because I've played some really great games. It's super close. There are a lot of... They've balanced a lot of really... They're all different characters. And I can tell that I have been playing one character too much because when someone else plays them and plays them poorly, I get angry.
Oh no!
No, motherfucker, Zarya can barrier other people. What is wrong with you? Really nice to see body type diversity in a game. It's super. I mean, the fact that there's an actual mom in the game.
I will say Blizzard has done a really good job at the diverse characters in Overwatch, and I think there's someone that will appeal to everyone, and they've done a really good job with that.
And there's a character I love that I cannot play, and it makes me irrationally angry when someone else plays her and plays her really well because I can't do it. It makes me so mad. God damn it! Widowmaker, why? Why? Or where I will pick a healer and I'll be the first one to do it, and then someone else will come in and pick a healer. I'm like, no, I was here first. And then it's kind of like you show up at prom in the same dress, and you try and figure out which one of you will blink first, which is part of the fun of the game. Who's going to change? I don't know. Wait. Then you end up with a team of all McCree, and what are you gonna do?
Wow, Overwatch problems.
Yeah.
Anyway, even if you don't like first-person shooters, I highly recommend giving it like at least a try, because it does not affect me the way other first-person shooters do, and the differing kinds of gameplay. Like playing a tank is super fun. I'm a terrible shot, which is why I've never liked first-person shooters. Which is why, again, Widowmaker, knife in my heart. Can't play her because I can't shoot the broadside of a barn, and she's a sniper. So the differing gameplay styles, they let you keybind everything. Fuck you, Team Fortress. So it's been super fun.
Wait, how does Team Fortress doesn't let you keybind?
I could not re-keybind the movement keys off WASD in Team Fortress.
Okay. I think you can.
Well, I couldn't when I first tried to play it, a million years ago.
You probably played it on Mac too, so I don't know.
No, it was on PC, but it could have been I was stuck in tutorial, and you can't keybind until you get out of tutorial, but I couldn't get out of the tutorial because I can't use WASD to move.
Right. Yeah, because it's all in the same engine as Half-Life, and you can Counter-Strike, and so I'm pretty sure you can keep
I could never play Counter-Strike or Half-Life. Oh, I can't play. There are two characters in Overwatch that are based on speed, and I can't play those. I still get vertigo with those.
So that's actually probably part of the problem then, because like a lot of games, especially any of the Quake games, are sort of known for speed, and they push the edges of speed, and that's kind of like their thing. But a lot of first-person shooters, the movement speed is really fast.
Like Genji and Tracer are two speed-based characters, and I have trouble even playing against them because they kill me a lot because they're really fast and really deadly. And so it will replay you, like when you die while you're waiting to respawn because they have to give Mercy time to resurrect you and get play of the game. It will play the kill cam for whoever killed you, so you know how you died and can theoretically learn from that. But whenever it's a Genji or a Tracer, I can't watch it. I have to look away because they move too fast and I get a terrible headache.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like, yes, Genji has killed me again. I'm glad to know that. Thanks.
I kind of want to know
consume you in the face.
I kind of want to know how it plays from the perspective of somebody who does like first-person shooters, and like I know that I could go on the internet because lots.
Oh,
of people...
Mr. Arrow has been first-person shooting his entire life. Like his best friend, he met playing Tribes 15 years ago, and they're still super close. He bought Overwatch, and I logged into his account to find out if I could play it, because I was super in love with the character designs, which I had looked up purely for capitalistic reasons. So he and I have been playing together every night, and he is really good at the fast people and the snipers.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, if you don't like
first-person
shooters,
give it a try. It's hard, right? I've heard it's hard on computers.
Is it hard on computers? It's not hard on mine.
Okay, maybe it's just if
I do have a 9. I mean, I do run I have a computer built specifically to take hot-ass screenshots of Dragon Age Inquisition, which is incredibly
Perhaps
hard
the
on
better
computers.
way to put it is Vajra's computer is really mad when we try and play any new game, and he runs Overwatch without a problem. Actually, we were
Okay.
talking today about how we've both gone back to WoW recently, and it's kind of fun playing a 10-year-old game because our computers run it, and we can pretend how fancy our computers are, but then we try and run, like, Witcher 3 or Dragon Age Inquisition, and our computers are just like, no.
I'm not sure my computer could run WoW at max settings these days.
What,
That's
really?
just depressing.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
I have a,
That sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah.
like a 5 or 6
You should
year old,
feel bad about that. That's a bad thing. You should feel bad. Yeah. Big thumbs down.
Yeah,
Okay.
big thumbs down. But so, okay, maybe not on your computer, but on most people's computers, Overwatch should run fine.
Well, I mean, you can turn down spell effects and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, but then what's the point?
what do you mean? What's the point?
Then you're
Well, I
playing
mean, it's
with
not as pretty, but
Why
you
did
don't.
they turn spell effects down in WoW and stuff? And it was terrible. It was really sad. Like, I didn't see all the mushrooms grow when I cast spells.
Okay, good. All right.
Tell me about your Inquisition playthrough in like 30 seconds before Leor shuts us off.
I am trying to do companion side quests now because.
Are you doing the Gather quests or the actual name quests? You're still doing the Gather quests to make them like you?
Oh, like half and half. So
Okay.
I just did Cole's quest, which was really interesting. I just did Sarah's quest, which I really liked, except then at the end she greatly disapproved, which made me super sad because I like spent a bunch of time making her happy. Because I was just trying. Yeah, I didn't think that was
You
going to put
didn't
her.
let her beat the shit out of that guy,
No,
did you?
she fucked that guy up. But it was afterwards when I was like, this was a clusterfuck. Let's try and not like this happen again. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, you suck. Why are you putting me in bad situations? And so she didn't like that.
Can't think why.
Yeah.
Do you have Cole stay a spirit, or did you make him a real boy?
I mean, he's like Pinocchio.
You made him a real boy.
Yeah. Because I like.
Because Varric told you to make him a real boy.
Yes, because Varric was way more convincing than Solus. Like I don't like. Okay, so I was gonna ask you about this. We can do it real quick, guys. Like I know you've recommended the Solus romance a couple of times, and like I hope he gets more interesting because he's like very.
Well, here's the thing. I appreciate Solus. I really like the way he's written. And if you are playing a romance with him, they go out of their way to do particular things with his animations.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Like there's a sequence at the very, very end of the very, very end where his animation is very different between a romance Solus, a friend Solus, and an enemy Solus.
Oh, weird.
Like the way his body language, and he's got just tremendous motion capture. It's really well done, super impressive.
Okay, cool.
I appreciate him. I want to punch him until candy comes out. But I really like him as a character.
Okay, all right, well that's fair. And I think Blackwell left because he's now an X in my party, but maybe he's just off doing Grey Warden shit. I don't really know, and I don't really care either. So
you should go and look for him. Go to no, seriously, this is an important quest. Go to the stables and talk to people so that you can hear about this.
Okay.
Because
All right.
it comes up with great banter.
Okay, so that's kind of where I am, and then I'm tracking down Corypheus something. I don't know. There's some spend 40 power points or whatever, go do some quests. So I basically gave up on doing all the side quests. I'm just going to do enough to get my companions up, and then I will figure out if I want to do any more than that later. So.
Yeah, do all the companion quests. There are zones where you don't even have to go if you're not doing a completionist playthrough.
Yep.
So don't worry about those. Just do.
Cassandra makes me go to almost all of them. So.
Well, Cassandra, it's your girlfriend. What are you gonna do? I mean, she can.
Yeah,
break
I mean,
you.
I can't.
She can break you with 2 fingers and a twist tie.
I can't not do Cassandra's side quests. So.
Yeah, do Cassandra's quest. Do all the companion quests. Making Cole a real boy is important. Do not do the I'm trying to think. Yeah, you should. You
Varric
should.
wants me to go to some dwarven place, but I haven't done all delirium yet either. So
You don't need to
that's
do
on
the
the list.
delirium. You don't need to do delirium.
Okay.
Okay, all the collection stuff that they have you do, like delirium and kill escape
Yeah.
Templars and all that, that's to make them like you enough to give them their talkie quests, like go to the
Okay.
dwarven
Okay.
place.
Cool. Okay. All right.
That's all that you don't ever have to do those. Make sure you talk to Dorian. His personal quest is super important. Also,
I did
um,
him already. I did his already.
with his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the first one I did.
yeah.
I like Dorian. He's cool.
Ramon Tigrum is a really great actor. I really like him.
Are you
I
guys still talking about Dragon Age?
I
No.
no. I mean,
I was
no.
going to say that I suffered through a really mediocre audiobook series just because it was narrated by Ramon Tigrum. It was like Dorian telling me a shitty bedtime story. It was pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention in the intro that I also watched Stranger Things, and that was really kind of scary. Did you guys both watch it? You guys both
I
watched it
have.
already?
It was scary if you were 12 in 1982.
Well,
Come
this
on.
is Ellie. Remember, this is Ellie. It was
It's
very
way scary. It is
loud.
way scarier than anything I
I would
watched.
like to say, as a horror fan, Lior, is it just me, or are they doing all of these like retro set horror films because they're too lazy to figure out a way to deal with cell phones? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because if that had been modern day, if these had been kids with cell phones, there's no story there. If the internet had existed, it would not. There would be no story there. So
Yeah,
they're
No,
setting,
it's true.
in the 80s and
yeah.
all that, so they don't have to deal with technology.
Right.
I thought
Yeah.
Stranger Things was okay. But I was not as enamored with it as apparently most people were. Like, it was good. I liked Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder, glad you're back. But I just kind of like, I'm slightly over the we're so retro that we could have actually been done in the time. Like, it could have actually been out in 1982 or whenever it was said. And I feel like we've moved on since then, and I'd like to see some new take on things.
That was actually, I had a similar conversation with some friends about, like, just generally speaking, the I'm getting done with the retro nostalgia trip bullshit, and I don't know if it's just because I'm now of the age where I'm the target audience for all of the things, or because we actually are in a period where we are aggressively retro nostalgia plays. But either way, like, it's frustrating because, like, I enjoyed Stranger Things a bunch, and I did not. It wasn't as referential as, like, Ready Player One felt to me.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. Yeah.
But I know
Definitely.
that it was very referential, right? And
A lot of the references were more in its construction for me.
okay.
As a horror sci-fi buff,
Yeah, sure.
there were a lot of representative camera angles, some lighting tricks that they used that you would expect in, like, a 1983 John Carpenter movie.
Right. So
Yeah.
and there was like at least one scene straight out of E.T. and, like,
I found it really Spielbergian. I was getting like, my thing I was saying is like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That was
Mr. Arrow said Winona Ryder is going to be making mashed potato tower at any time now.
Right, yeah, that definitely felt like its ancestor to me was that one.
So
It's just at the point where, like, we have such fidelity in this retro stuff now, and this is a blight on the horror movie scene at the moment because everybody does indie retro horror, and it's so.
It's because they don't want to deal with cell phones.
Well, a lot of it is that. I mean, any horror movie now, they have to come up with a reason why you have no cell phone in, like, the first 10 minutes.
Right.
But that's a problem, and I'm getting to the point where I'm like, well, if this movie could have, or series could have actually have been done back in the day, what new thing are you adding to this aside from a killer intro font, which is a killer intro font?
It is a sweet, and the music is awesome.
The soundtrack was very well done. The score was spectacular. Huge thumbs up to all the child actors in this show.
Oh yeah,
they were all terrific. I knew every single one of those kids.
Yeah,
and also, I mean, I think we're looking at it as we are the target audience. It's rare for me as a nerdy lady who is also a mom to find something so specifically created for me.
Yeah, well, that is a luxury that Netflix has with these kinds of things. They don't have to. They already know that that exact target audience exists, and
Well, and
they can
also
predict pretty reasonably who's going to watch it and what else you've watched, right? So they when they go and make these things or commission them, they
our
can target it pretty
generation is
well.
also the marketing. We have the
Yes.
money right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just like, I mean, when I was a kid and my parents were the focus demographic, there were a billion Vietnam
Right.
War movies. There was the Wonder Years, and now we've got the Wonder Years for the 80s that I cannot remember the name of.
There's also like the boy meets world, girl meets world, or whatever that
And
one. That's
yeah,
like,
they're all grown up now. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
This kind of
Weird
reminds
to
me
be.
of something related to an announcement from Blizzard this week. In just relation to Legion, which is
oh
that in the
yeah.
first patch, it will be Return to Karazhan. And at this, okay, I loved Karazhan. I loved it so much, and my first instinct is like, yeah, it's gonna be 9 bosses, 5-man instance. Sounds right up my alley. I love Karazhan. Let's go back. But on the other hand, like since Wrath of the Lich King, like we just like it's really weird in the game now because there's like 2 Dalarons, there's 2 Karazhans, there's 2 Draenors. Like we're really getting duplicates of everything. There's 3 different versions of Onyxia. Like
Why are people
But you already
excited to pay for something that they've already paid for? They
because it will
keep
be
doing
different.
this and people keep getting excited
but
about
it's
it and
gonna
I
be
don't understand.
but it's not the exact same thing. It's
They did ZG and ZA again already.
oh yeah, they already did that.
They're doing all of this. They did Onyxia already. Why? They're not building new raids. They're just tweaking the ones that they've already fucking made. And people are excited about this. And I can't Yeah.
Because I want to go back.
You can go back. It's still there.
But it'll
You
be
can
fun to go back with
now.
it'll be fun to go back with other people.
You can go back with other people and you'll go through it really
Well,
fast. People will still get caught by the big bad wolf. It's fine.
I don't think
Like,
that's the case
I
because
was-
we're like
I
40
agree.
levels above that now.
When
So
are they putting in new Cthulhu?
everybody probably like next patch.
Yeah,
I mean,
new
that's fine.
Encourage. Here you go.
I sort of like I do think that they need to start coming up with some new stuff, and they're relying on the nostalgia too hard. But on the other hand, it is nostalgia.
Well, I mean, you're also playing it at the level of nostalgia works for you, right? Because you are not a person who's going to go spend. I mean, and doing it as a 5-man actually helps with this because I mean, we already spent a year and a half, 2 years running Karazhan, and I didn't even run it much, but I already feel like I ran it enough, right? And but if you go back as if you go back as like a 5-man that you have to run once or twice, so they can like I guess they're doing like super duper hard mode 5-mans now. I don't know whatever they call ultra
Yeah, mythic.
ultra backs to the extreme.
Mans. Yeah, and I do like the
Yeah,
fact
you
that
rock
it's
that mic
5-man.
like a vandal.
I like that they're doing the smaller group content. I think there's going to be a lot more focus on 5-mans in this expansion, which is cool because that's kind of my bag now. And yeah, so I am a little bit torn because and if it had been any other instance, I probably would have been in the Arrow crowd of being like, fuck you, let's get some new content. But on the other hand, Karazhan, you guys.
I want to do the Coliseum again.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
no, you
I
don't.
farmed.
No,
You
I
can
do. It
farm
was
that
fun.
stuff
I
really
had so much fun in there.
The
really
Twilight
easy
Crusader?
now.
Yeah, I did. I really did. No, that's like when I came into my own as a raider. So finally, after like 3 expansions of trying. So
I'm not. I have nothing to say because it'll give away a spoiler for the pre-patch content. So
I mean,
goodbye.
I don't care.
In the pre-patch, Tyrion Fordring dies.
It doesn't
And-
matter.
Yeah.
That wasn't actually
Really,
Tyrion
but like,
Fordring.
it's
hasn't
a
been-
It was
terrible.
probably. It was probably. Don't worry, it's probably an old guy.
Talking. It was a terrible, shallow death where just like they're like, there's Tyrion Fordring. Oh, he's dead. Some monster like shot him with eye beams, and then he got dropped to the bottom of a goopy ocean. But now I go back to the Colosseum, and he's all like, everyone must fight and champion, be my champions. And I'm like, screw you, Tyrion, you're dead. You can't make me fight.
Yeah, they have like serious continuity problems in that game.
That's why I stopped playing.
That's not why it's
That's,
up. But
again, Overwatch.
true.
Exactly enough story to be interesting, not enough story for them to fuck it up.
All right. We are wrapping up this episode. We recorded much longer than we usually do because we had such a good time. We'll be back in 2 weeks. You can find us at leorblog.com/catcontextpodcast. I'm on Twitter at Hey It's Leor. Errolade's on Twitter at Errolade. Ellie is not. He's just not.
I'm just not.
He's just not. But yeah, and we'll do episode 100 sometime. We say that like every 2 weeks. But
Maybe
we will.
we'll do just an episode.
Maybe
episode.
you should come up to Seattle and we'll do it like on a Friday night or something.
Come to Geek Girl Con.
It was a proposed possibility, but it didn't go anywhere. I tried.
All right, that's fair. We almost had an fully in-person podcast, but we'll figure something out. Maybe we can.
We'll just all have to all end up at Arrow's backyard.
I have a totally sweet backyard, you guys.
Yes.
It's gonna be 2 weeks. It'll be awesome.
Not in the summer because it's hot.
Yeah.
No, but autumn is pretty good.
Not in the winter because it's cold.
Actually, in the winter it just rains.
Okay.
So we all feel at home.
That's it. Thank you for watching and/or listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you, both of you, for coming on this show today.
And we did your homework.
We totally did your homework.
I know. I assigned last-minute homework, and you guys did it. You've made this podcast creator proud. All right. Goodbye. Thank you.
Nice.
Bye.
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 I guess I should stop recording now.